Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Larry here again for Fitness and Food and Lifestyle Dynamic Nutrition. As always, I got my buddy Carl. What I'm going to talk to you about today is a touchy subject for some, because they are devout followers out there. There's also the extreme anti this topic, but I'm just going to shed some general information and hopefully we could get some confusion out of the way. What is the best diet for 2020? Most of us have been quarantined, sitting at home, so we're cooking for ourselves or ordering a lot of food delivery. God knows we have, and it shows. But, those of us who have been able to get good food in and maintain our eating programs, it was a struggle, and it still is, but you make the best of it. Now, if you're looking to lose weight, regardless of what year it is, or a global pandemic, or unemployment, or you name it, if you're just looking to drop weight, get healthy, and so forth and so on, you have options. You have a lot of options. Now, is there a best one? No. I'm going to flat out say no, there is not a best one. Why? Because not everything works for everyone. We know that. We've been saying it. It's not anything new. What works for me may not work for you. What works for Carl over here sure as hell ain't gonna work for anybody. But you get the drift here. So there is no one thing that we can say that is this is the best, because there isn't one. My body responds differently than yours, differently than my parents or my kids or anybody. So what works for you is something that's going to work for you, and the only way to know that is to figure it out. Now, the biggest one that is always talked about is the keto diet. Okay, the keto diet, or the gazillion names, the keto diet, the ketosis, or the the zero carb diet, which is not actually true. It's not zero carbs. It's just very, 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 very low. Ketogenic or keto diet. Okay. Now, this is the one where you basically have minimal carbohydrates, increased fat, increased protein, and your body starts producing ketones, and you burn fat for everything. So all your fat stores, basically, like I said in the previous video, that were reserves, are now becoming the primary. Obviously, you're not having your carbohydrates coming in, you're not having the glycogen stores and everything that goes along with it. So, is the ketogenic diet safe? Yes, when controlled. It was designed, I believe, for epilepsy, to reduce fat in the bloodstream. Which was going to the brain, obviously, and depositing fat, causing epileptic seizures, or something along the lines of that. I'm not 100% sure, but you can look it up. Google is free. But, you could look this up too, so whatever. But you're going to hear me say anyway. It's good for diabetes, because it maintains insulin levels, which is very, very important if you're a diabetic. So you have two predominant diseases that are actually benefited by the keto diet. Now, the average everyday person, without those two considerations, is it safe? Yes and no. You could get control of your blood sugar to prevent diabetes. You could help reduce your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. There's a slew of positives to the keto diet. Obviously, you reduce body fat, which overall in general is just healthy for you. And like I said, you could control your blood sugar levels, you could get your cholesterol under control, your triglycerides and all that fun stuff, and you could reduce your chances of specific cancers and heart disease. Okay. Now, here's the biggest problem I have with the keto diet. From the research out now, it mostly only goes up to 6 months. That's the current research right now. As of August 1st, 2020, I have not seen any updated information. I know of 2 studies that went beyond 6 months. One went 1 year, the other one went 2 years. And they both concluded that the keto diet is no different than a low-fat or a calorically restricted diet. So they're pretty much all the same. However, short-term benefit, yes. Ding to the keto diet. Up until about 6 months, that will reign supreme. After about 6 months to a year, it'll start leveling off, and your body just won't do what it did originally. That pretty much goes for any new eating plan that you're going to try. If you eat 4,000 calories a day and you're overweight and you drop that in half right off the bat, yeah, you're going to drastically lose weight. And that's going to go on for a couple of weeks, months, but then it'll level off. And then it'll start climbing back up because your body processes are different now. They require less energy. Think about that. If you're overweight, if you're a 5'10", 400 pounds, that's dangerously unhealthy. Male or female, doesn't make a difference. And you're ingesting 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day of garbage. Mostly it's just quick, simple foods, fast food probably, chips, snacks, candy. You don't get, eating a ton of vegetables. Well, you could actually if you overdo vegetables, but whatever. I'm missing the point here. But if you drastically reduce that to 2,000 calories a day, regardless if it's low carb, low fat, or whatever, your body's going to, it has to function when you're that heavy. Your heart has to pump harder. Your brain has to, needs more energy just to regulate normal body processes. It's hard. Why do you think it's harder to breathe when you have excess weight? Because your lungs and all your muscles that support your body have to be stronger, period. You require more energy to do that. When you reduce the calories right off the bat, your body's still burning at the 400-pound level, the 4,000 calorie, 5,000 calorie level, because it thinks it's getting all that, so it's just going to burn. All right, this is what we're doing, whatever. Then all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, we're getting faster and faster. Our heart doesn't have to pump as hard, our lungs don't have to work as hard, our muscles don't have to lift as much. What are we doing? And then there comes the level off where your body processes slow down. It's like, oh, we don't need to pump that hard? We're going to cut off some energy to that. We don't need to function as much. We don't need to pump all this energy through so our brain can function because it's not as difficult now. Okay, we're going to reduce that. These are the plateaus that we hit in weight loss. The same thing goes for the keto diet. You're removing one of the largest stored energy sources from your diet. Now they drop it down to like 5% carbohydrates, which isn't a lot for a lot of people. For most people, it's below than what they need for the daily. So yeah, you're going to drop body fat quickly. But like everything, there are side effects to it. There's for the first couple of weeks, you have the possibility of the ketogenic flu, is what they call it. Diarrhea, stomach aches, cramping, being lethargic because you haven't really reached the full ketosis yet. So there's a lot of things to look out for, but that goes with everything. Now, is it the perfect diet? No, it's not. Because like I said, somebody who maybe needs carbohydrates because they're an athlete, the keto diet will not work because they need the energy stores to move weight, to run, and to do all those stuff. Maybe in the off season that might be good for them to drop body fat, but that's basically where it stops. But for the everyday average person, a keto diet's not bad. Short term. Like I said, long term, the benefits aren't there. They're not there anymore. Where 23 studies, 21 of them went up to about six months, anywhere between 8 weeks to 6 months, 24 weeks. And they all showed that the low-carb diet, or low-carb eating plan, I hate the word diet, low-carb eating plans were superior. Okay. But once they started hitting the year mark and the 2-year mark, Not so much anymore. It actually started to climb back up, where they weren't losing weight, and the other control group was like either a low-fat or just a calorically restricted diet. Those started dropping more, and the keto started coming back up. So it basically just shows, in the long term, what is going to be more sustainable for you. What is your body going to allow you to do, and how are you going to feel throughout that entire process? Because as you start dropping weight and feeling better, you may try to start doing more physical activity. Unfortunately, the ketogenic diet does not really call for intense physical activity. It's just not possible. You don't have the energy sources for it. Glycogen is at the absolute best, and that comes from carbohydrates. Now, there's my biggest pet peeve on keto is they say no fruit. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. It's dumb. It's just really dumb. Because, the sugars that are in fruit are just no good. They're the easiest broken down and disposed of sugars. And I don't get it. But, whatever. I could be wrong. Good chance. Whatever. But if it gets you thinking, then I did my job. And that's pretty much what this is about. I'm going to throw out information, things that I know. If you disagree with me, hey, there's a comment section for a reason. Let me have it. Let me know. But give me proof. Don't just yell and scream. Because you say so, it has to be true. Always have proof. Okay? And don't say my trainer said or the guy at the gym said. We need studies. We need proof. And if anybody asks, hey, listen, shoot me a message. I'll send you everything that I got. Alrighty? So, ketogenic diet, not horrible. Not the best, because there is none. I personally think a calorically restricted diet is easier to maintain for everyone, because then you could futz around with different things, and you could slightly increase your activity level to offset when your body levels out and plateaus. These are the things that you have to figure out as you go along in your weight management journey. Think about that. Think long term. Don't think 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. Think, how am I going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Because that's going to make a huge difference in what you can and cannot do. Alrighty? So, like always, hit that like and subscribe button. We got more content coming for you guys, and the more support I get, the more I can do this. So, have yourselves a great day. Enjoy. Make sure you eat. Make sure you eat well. And just eat better. Alrighty? Thanks. Have a great one.